Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Happy New Year, happy new stream. Another year of streaming coming to you right here on Go Race Promotions on Twitch. Tonight, bring you something a little bit different to what we normally do. It is Can-Am Minis, the Street Fighters series from AK Racing, and we are at the Adelaide Street Circuit RIP. Of course, news coming from South Australia that they are canning the Adelaide 500. Absolute shame. Hopefully some common sense will prevail and they will bring this magnificent event back. But by looks of things, it is gone and never coming back. But anyway, we can still enjoy this historic circuit virtually. So let's do that tonight. We are about 4 minutes away to getting into qualifying tonight. Let's have a look at how we are travelling so far. So it is Matty Richards at the top of the 129.9 and K Moss with a 130.1. He is currently second. Then we have Damon McIntosh, who are currently following at the moment in the little screen just below with a 131.4. So pretty tight times at the top, and it is a fantastic turnout as well. A total of 12 drivers racing tonight in these fantastic little cars. They're little cars on big steroids. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, let's swap over to the track so we can stop looking at my miserable looking face and we can get, as soon as it turns up, there we go. So let's take a quick ride around this fantastic circuit on board with one of these cars. As I have turned the audio down, that'll help. Fix that. Anyway, through the chicane. Hello to Cooper Roundtree. Good to see you again, mate. As we're currently on board with Damon McIntosh. Hard on the brakes for the entry into Wakefield Street. Gets a little bit too wide and finds the fence, so we may have to find someone new to do a lap with. Why not? Steve Duro, the Binomial Eagle from GT Club. Great to see him out on track tonight. I'm sure this guy will be somewhere near the top as he backs it into the chicane. Before we get into qualifying, he will get to the top. He is no slouch, this guy. Of course, we've seen him in the GT Club streams that we've done, and we're very happy to be bringing their GT3, Masters of GT3 series in 2022, so keep an eye on that with on Friday nights, as he's already set a purple first sector. So Steve has decided to pull the finger out at the very last minute, and he is going to be aiming for the top of that tree on the left-hand side. As he tips it into the dreaded turn 8, and he gets it through nicely, so Steve he's lost a lot of time in the middle sector though, so maybe not as aggressive as what he should be. Not sure. Have to look at some sectors before we can actually make that judgment. But yeah, keep an eye on this guy. Currently 8th in the session, but he will get to the top. Don't you worry, he's a much better racer than qualifier, I think. Good to see Poolia in there as well as Marsden, Eaton and Fergo as well. So great to see this guy as he finds the fence again, and we have one car off the track. That is Turk Simmons, or Taylor Simmons, and that car is going nowhere fast. He has obviously found the fence at turn 8. I think he's going to be in for a long night as the checkered flag comes out for the session, and we will start moving into qualifying. So get some beers out, get the popcorn out. This is going to be an absolutely entertaining night. In fact, while we have this little bit of a lull, I've pressed the wrong button. That's what I've done. Professional streamer, folks. Professional streamer. So what that was meant to be was a return to pits, so I could actually have a look at the race format. Bit silly, but anyway, we'll get back into it, hopefully, as we are back into it. So we have 20-minute qualifying session and then two 25-minute races. So, boy, this is going to be a carnage fest, really. It's going to be a brutal race for some of these guys. These cars, these little mini Can-Ams. Let's actually have a look. No, we won't. We're actually going to swap over to qualifying. Let's see if we can't. No. Where is free cam? Oh, it's going well. Let's see if we can't find someone. Here we go. So, mini Can-Ams. Funny little car, aren't they? As you can see, the short wheelbase, these cars are going to be very responsive on turn-in. They're also going to be a bit unstable when they hit curbs. So, these guys are going to have to keep an eye on that. Because, well, big curbs around Adelaide, as we know. The, of course, famous first turn chicane where we've seen a lot of V8 supercars motocrossing their way through there. Thank you to Spuddy SQ for the follow, and also a bit of a belayed thank you for the follow to How's That 567. Very much appreciate. I believe that would be Peter Reed, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you, Peter. So let's see. We'll have a look at the times. So we have Matthew Richards, Kurt Moss, Steve Jura up to third. What I tell you, Fergo in fourth, Damon McIntosh fifth, Eaton sixth, and now all that goes out the window as we head into qualifying. Let's see if we can't get. Oh, no, we just took a screenshot. That's good. Anyway, let's get back to the track action. There we go. Bit of delay there. I have no idea why that is. And I still have no idea why we have no free cam. But anyway, we're just going to have to wing it for now as Damon McIntosh makes his way through Wakefield Street and then out of this 90-degree right-hander for the long run to turn 8. Oh, Matty Richards out for Smoko. No! No, get back in there and set a time, quickly. McIntosh has a little bit of understeer going through turn number 8. I'll take that back, a lot of understeer as he tips it into the hairpin. So, I wouldn't mind any predictions for who's going to top qualifying. Up towards the final hairpin to start his first flying lap. He should have a pretty clear run as he misses the apex a little bit. Maybe he was just aiming for fighting a 4-year-old with his bike. Well, Matty, I don't think you should be trying to swing a bicycle at your 4-year-old. Just saying. Anyway, Damon McIntosh gets it through the first chicane, no problems whatsoever. Let's see if he gets it through turn number 4. Oh, he's got to watch that fence. He just keeps off the fence, only just. And now through Wakefield Street. Get a look at how this car is handling. Oh, geez, it is understeering like crazy at the moment. As he tips it in, crashes over that curb and crashes over the exit curb. Absolutely full send for the long run to turn 8. See if he can make it through. Topping just over 200 k's per hour, and he missed the apex by a country mile. But these just not looking like as though it's really pointing in the way he would ultimately like this car to point in. As you can see there, car getting caught up on that massive exit curb. See if that costs him time in the long run. just have the right one. There we go, sectors. So now we're going to have a good idea of who's doing well. So he makes his way across the line. It's going to be a decent lap time, a 1:31.4. That puts him on top for now. We'll see how Steve Duro just behind, how he travels. As Virgo goes to the top with 1:30.9, Steve Duro 1:33.3. So the time's starting to come in quickly now. Wait for Anthony Susanna. Oh, he's been a little bit bored there. I don't know who that was. And Susanna goes third with a 1:31.8, and Ferguson 1:39.5. Eaton into the 1:32.8, and Moss to the top. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty certain I saw a Jamaican flag next to Kurt Moss's name in the. He's had to pull up to try and avoid the driver just behind, trying to set a lap time. But Kurt Moss at 1:30.5, that is going to be a tough time to beat. And we're seeing Susanna setting a personal best by 0.094 of a second. We'll see, oh, he finds the fence. Pooley now setting a purple sector in the first sector, so Pooley 2/10 faster. Great to see Pooley back out there on track. Oh, what is going on there? We have a car bouncing off the fence going down the back straight. We'll stay with Pooley. He's got traffic in front of him. He has got a slipstream as well. I don't know how important the slipstream will be with these cars. Lay it on the brakes, big lunge. Maybe a bit of coordination there, perhaps? What do you guys think of chat? Also, we're seeing purple sectors for Anthony Susanna as well. But Pooley half a second up, and someone has binned it right in front of him. That lap is ruined for Paul Pooley. We'll find out who that was. That was Justin Eaton in the teal-coloured Mini. As now Anthony Susanna goes to the top with a 1:30.511. That is not much difference between himself and Kurt Moss. But Susanna, very lucky to get away from that incident. That happened only just behind him. Now Steve Duro and Damon McIntosh, purple sectors. Purple sector 1 for Steve Duro and a purple sector 1 for Damon McIntosh as well. 6/10 up for Damon McIntosh, so we're currently looking at a 1:29 for the fastest lap. Susanna also setting another personal best in sector 1, or actually overall best. Damon McIntosh loses half a second in that middle sector, so maybe this car's understeer issue is starting to hurt him a bit through the tight section in Wakefield Street. Virgo now. Now we're starting to see purple sectors on the left-hand side in the tree there. So McIntosh goes for a late apex onto the main straight, tries to lengthen the run to the start-finish line, I should say, as he stops the clock at 1:30.4. So great time by Damon McIntosh, but I feel that he probably could have gotten better. We'll join in with Anthony Susanna. Steve Duro goes a 1:31.1, so he improves, but not enough for the top spot. Susanna now, he pulls out the slipstream and he goes top of 1:29.5 by Anthony Susanna. So Susanna, the man to beat at the moment. Matty Richards now into the 1:29s as well. He is not to be outdone, joins the 1:29 party. See who else can join the 1:29 party. Binomial Eagle, Steve Duro down there in 7th. He sets a purple sector 1. Marsden now steps up into 8th as well. So reasonably close times at the top. We still have 13 minutes left to go in this session, I should say. We have one car getting out of the way, that is Susanna. So Matty Richards sets a purple first sector along with Steve Duro. We'll check in with Steve Duro, see how he goes. He loses half a second in that middle sector. So I think a few drivers are struggling with that middle sector just to try and get the car rotated. It does look as though these cars understeer quite a bit. So maybe they have a very, very tight diff ratio setting. And well, the tighter you make that diff, the less likely the wheels are going to spin at different speeds. And Duro backs it in like a go-kart. Probably not the best way to tackle the Adelaide hairpin. as he heads up to the start-finish line. It's going to be a 1:30, puts him into third, so that's a personal best by Steve Duro as well. We're going to check in with Matty Richards. He's up by half a second in total, actually 6/10 in total, after crossing that second sector split time. And he goes at 1:29.4, so he bumps Cesana off the top. Not sure who that is in front of him. Unfortunately, they are just stock liveries, so no custom liveries tonight. So it's going to be a bit hard for me to tell the difference between drivers. Keep an eye on these sector times. Kurt Moss has set a personal best in Sector 1. So if you're looking at the timing tree and trying to work out what all the little numbers mean, well, it's more the colours that mean something. So yellow means no improvement, green means personal best, and purple, of course, meaning overall best. So if you see someone that's doing spectacularly well, let me know in the chat and I'll immediately know who to focus on. So we're going to keep following Kurt Moss. He's getting a little bit balked as he buttons out of that lap to try and give him... No, he actually goes straight back to pits, puts a fresh set of tyres on, and out he goes again, but now he's got to be careful of balking other drivers on their fast laps. He's done a pretty good job of avoiding the front of the traffic. So Cesano has done a personal best in the middle sector, but he doesn't quite get it pointed in at the double left-handed there. He's actually going to button out of this lap, so Cesano, he's hunting for something. Steve Duro has actually managed to make it into the 129s as well, so what did I tell you? Steve Duro, never discount him until the checker flag has dropped in the final race of the night. Another driver I'm keeping an eye on, Justin Eaton. He's setting personal best in Sector 1. 8/10 off the leaders though. Taylor Simmons as well in 8th place. He's a 10th off, just under 2/10 off the top time. So we'll definitely check in with Taylor as the session goes on. I haven't got a predictive time for him at the moment. That's still playing up. Oh, we have a new driver entering the server. That is Dre. Now, that's a name I haven't seen for a while, but it's good to have him back. Now Eaton pulls it up to the hairpin. Now fires it down the main straight. We'll see if he can improve. It's going to be a 131, so he does improve. Goes from 10th to 9th. Now let's check in on Taylor Simmons. This is looking like a strong lap. Predictive time says a 130.8.7. It's a 130.786. That keeps him in 7th. So Taylor Simmons, big improvement though. Oh, he gets it sideways over the curb. So once again, demonstrating what I was saying a little bit earlier with these drivers having to be careful of the curbs with the short wheelbase cars. So say they are a damn cool car. They're very cool. See the Venturas on the back of it. Oh, he finds Taylor does find the fence a little bit. He's up again, setting personal best in Sector 1. Although he lost a little bit of time finding the wall there, and he's set for a 131 flat-ish. Gets a real good run through turn 8, and now he is up. Oh, Scoony28, Daniel Cyclona, thank you for the resubscription, mate. You might hop on after these guys finish qualifying. Mate, get in there now. It's looking like a decent field. 14 if you join. But yeah, thank you once again for the subscription. Tier 1. Like it, and make sure you check out those emotes. We have got Tier 1 emotes now, although they are admittedly basic bitch emotes. Anyway, Taylor Simmons back to the action. He's set for a 129. He joins the 129 party. Actually sets a purple Sector 3. So, well done to Taylor Simmons. If he can just piece the lap together, he will be at the front before you know it. He goes up to 4th place. He's got to be happy with that. Stephen Marsden, he's also setting personal best in Sector 1, Sector 2. Daniel Cyclona, Antonet's being pretty dodgy. Who are you with, Dan? Is So I'll tell you right now, my recommendation, go to Aussie Broadband. Go to Aussie Broadband. I swapped to Aussie Broadband. I'm loving them. They are fantastic. I'm not even in an area that's supposed to have good internet, and I've got great internet. It's fantastic internet. Sponsor me, Aussie Broadband. Anyway, Stephen Marsden rounds the final corner. We haven't got a predictive time for him, so 1:31.2. That bumps him up to 9th. Bumps Eaton out of 9th. Oh, we got purple sectors already. Anthony Susanna and Steve Duro both setting purple sectors. So Steve Duro setting purple sector in sector 1, and so does Anthony Susanna. Oh, how close was Susanna to that wall. We'll actually have a good look at this camera hanging off the side of the car next time it goes through turn 8. He has got this car wound up as Taylor Simmons now goes up into second. Oh, that car, I don't know who that was. I don't know if that has upset Susanna's lap at all. Gets it pointed and rotated nicely for the little sweeper before the hairpin. He is looking at a 1:28 though. This is going to be close. Doesn't get a great run out of the final corner. It's a 1:28.974. So Anthony Susanna goes to the top again. We're seeing Kurt Moss as well setting purple sector 1s. Matty Richards was setting a purple sector, well, personal best in sector 1 until Susanna set that lap time. He's not going to improve if that predicted lap time is accurate. Check in with Kurt Moss as he points it through turn 8 and gets it right up against the wall as well. And we don't have a predictive time for him either. He's got someone just ahead of him. Jump on board with him now. And in fact, Kurt is actually going to button out of it. It was looking like a bit of a dead lap time for him. We'll check in with Dre, who joined the server a bit late. How close can he get to the fence? Play the game. Who gets close to the fence? Big gap between himself and the right-hand side, but he finds the fence on the left-hand side. I don't know how much damage that will have done to the car. Oh, he finds the exit curb, and as you can see, the curbs just drag him off towards the fence, and that will have hurt him, and that will hurt him even more. That was Stephen Marsden. So Marsden having a bit of a struggle there, and he rejoins just ahead of... don't know who that is. Taylor Simmons. The liveries are fantastic. I love the little shout out on the front bumper as well. Thank you very much. Love the Street Fighter logo on there. Absolutely perfect for the series as well. Matches it lovely. So Marsden had to bin that lap, unfortunately. He motocrosses through the first chicane. I think that would have been a track cut for Stephen Marsden. And Taylor Simmons with another subscription. Oh, geez, the subscriptions are coming in pretty quickly now. Guess who's back? Yes, I love it. Back again. It's Taylor Simmons. Let's check in with Matty Richards. He's just behind Dre, actually. As he winds the yellow Mini sideways over the curb, as Kurt Moss sets his personal best, and he gets within a second of Anthony Susanna. And this is looking like a good lap time for Matthew Richards. He sets a personal best in Sector 1 and Sector 2. The predictive time puts him very level with Anthony Susanna. He's just got to put the rest of the lap together. See if he can get it through the hairpin nicely. This little sweeper as well. He misses the apex and finds the grass, but he manages to keep it together. Back to second gear. Gets it rotated nicely. He is on for pole. And he stops the clock. It's a 1:28.966. He goes to the top by absolute... that is an absolutely tiny margin between himself and Anthony Cesana. Let's quickly have a look at the gaps. 0.008 of a second between Richards and Cesana. Cesana will be pulling his hair out, I think, trying to make sure he's on top and on pole position for the first lap of the race. Richards, he's actually going faster. Purple sector 1 by 0.3 of a second. I don't know if the traffic would have upset him going through Wakefield. And I think that was flat through turn 8. It didn't sound like he lifted at all. He loses time on himself in sector 2. He's now only 0.1 faster than himself. But he's going to get into the 28.8s if he keeps his lap together. On the Delta now, he's just behind ever so slightly. And Steve Duro sets his personal best at 29.7. That elevates him to 4th. So Matty Richards now out of the final corner. What does he stop the clock at? It's not going to be an improvement, unfortunately. Loses a lot of time in the final sector. Damon McIntosh, he's up in the first sector by 0.3 of a second, but he doesn't get turn 8 right at all. And he actually has a close binning moment, but he manages to keep it out of the fence. That was a decent save by Damon. So we're going to check in with Steve Duro now, the binomial eagle from GT Club. 0.2 of a second up in the first sector. Let's see where he gets to with the wall at turn 8. How close can he get? Little lift. Keeps it out of the fence on the left-hand side. He's got the headlights ablaze. He means business. Gets it slowed down. A little bit of a lock-up with the rear brakes. And he's lost time in the middle sector again. So he's going to be pulling his hair out as well. So checkered flag out. Cesana across the line. He's unable to improve. Wait and see where Steve Duro ends up. Comes through the sweeper into the hairpin, backs it in slightly. Driving it like a go-kart at the moment. I suppose that might help. He stops the clock. It's a 1:29.1, so he almost gets into the 28 party, but that puts him on to 3rd. He's got to be pretty happy with that. We'll check in with Fergo as he crosses the line. It's a 1:30.1. He stays 7th. Dre now, he's setting personal best in Sector 1 and Sector 2. See where he ends up at the end of this lap. And it's a 1:34.7, so he gets off the last spot on the grid. Pooley, I don't think he is on a timed lap. I think he was just making a little bit of a setup change. Bullermeister, yeah, you were, mate. Unfortunately, we did catch your bin moment at turn 8. So anyway, here is your pole sitter tonight, Matthew Richards, in the yellow Mini Cooper Can-Am. So let's return to pits. We won't exit the server this time. So let's run through the results from qualifying. Matthew Richards and Anthony Cesana will start on the front row, separated by 0.008 of a second. That is very tight at the top. Then we have Steve Duro and Taylor Simmons off of row number 2. Steve Duro very close to getting into the 28s party. Kurt Moss, he was quick in the opening few minutes of qualifying, but he just wasn't able to go with the front guys. And indeed, playing from Jamaica. Good for him. Damon McIntosh in 6th, Fergo in 7th, Marsden 8th, Pooley in 9th, and Eaton in rounding out the top 10. Over the page we then have Ryan Norridge, Dre and Jack Ferguson. So a little bit of improvement left there for Dre and Jack Ferguson, I'd say. But, that is your top 10 for race number 1. So, have we got a prediction for race number 7? Oh, sorry. Race number 1. God, I'm reading something on the internet trying to enable FreeCam without leaving the server. In fact, actually, we might just quickly see if we can't just... See if we can't just set it up. Yeah, see if that works. I might have to leave the server and then join in again. So let's quickly go to this camera again so you can see my wonderful face. And then we will quickly just rejoin the server. But any surprises there? For anyone in chat, were we expecting someone to be on pole? Were we not expecting someone to be on pole? Someone to be further up? Someone lower down? Let me know in chat. There we go. We are back in. There we go, and we have free camera. Excellent. So we have 49 seconds before we make a start. So I don't know how well these things get off the line. I think I'm expecting a lot of wheel spin. I'm expecting a lot of smoke, but I have no idea what to expect at turn number 1. Who wants to make some predictions for turn 1? Are we going to have a clean turn 1? Are we just going to see absolute carnage? I've got no idea. Let's find out the fun way. We'll find out in about 15 seconds time, that's for sure. So as we get set for a start, we have got the 6 lights on. 6 lights out, we are away and racing. It is a pretty even start from the front row. In fact, from the first 2 rows, I should say. So we're going to quickly fly over to the chicane. We're going 2 wide, we're going 3 wide, we're going 4 wide into the turn 1. We're actually going to get through nice and cleanly, so well done to the AK Racing drivers. Fantastic effort from all drivers tonight. As you see Matty Richards out in front. Change that up. So gaps. Richards trying to make a breakaway. Taylor Simmons trying to get the pass done on Steve Duro. But Duro switches back and Taylor Simmons punts Steve Duro. And that's going to cause a massive pile-up coming out onto the back straight. And that sends Steve Duro, Taylor Simmons and Stephen Marsden straight to the back. That is not an ideal start to your race. We'll have to keep an eye on where Steve Duro and Taylor Simmons get to before the end of this race. I think both cars have got a fair bit of damage. It was a spectacular crash as Simmons immediately runs wide. This allows Duro back through. Look at the back of Duro at Taylor Simmons. Quickly join the battle for first. Matty Richards is starting to just break away slowly. Oh, we have a bit of a battle here. Fergo and Damon McIntosh as they make their way into turn number 1 and 2. McIntosh deciding to just slide in behind Fergo and make it single file going through the chicane. Right on board now with Fergo as we enter into Wakefield Street. does look as though McIntosh's car is rotating just a little bit better now than what we saw in practice and qualifying. But, he doesn't get a great run. He late apexes it coming out of that right-hander. He doesn't tuck into the slipstream, interestingly enough. Oh, we have someone off. That is Jack Ferguson. And just up ahead, we're going to have someone going 3 wide. We're almost 3 wide going into turn 8. This is not going to end well. It's Taylor Simmons, Dre, and Steve Duro. And in fact, Dre manages to get in front of all of them. So great bit of race. Oh no, Duro's been served again by Simmons. Oh no. Oh man, Duro is been quite frustrated by now, I'm sure of it. Right on board, and we look forward for Steve Duro as we tip it into the hairpin. I can sense a scent coming here from Duro, but he thinks better of it. Tries to get the drive down the main straight. Oh, we have Marsden and Ferguson getting stuck together in the background there. And Dre going defensively into the chicane. In fact, going very defensively. I think he was anticipating Duro to try and go too wide with him through the chicane. And so he just checked up there just to try and make sure he had enough room. Of course, Duro, very experienced driver, knows better than to try and go too wide through the chicane. And in fact, he just goes right around the outside of Wakefield Street. So now, Duro back up into the top 10. Still got 21 minutes left in this race. I don't know how long the tyres last on these cars on average. But we'll keep an eye on Simmons, and in fact Marsden has got into this battle as well. So we also see a battle going on between Pooley and Justin Eaton for 6th place. So Marsden now looking around the outside, going into the hairpin. Can he get it done? Simmons manages to pull it up, but immediately Marsden will go for the switchback. Dre is helping Marsden at the moment. Matty Richards 129.5, fast up the race. Kurt Moss is number 1 into the 29s. Cezanne's actually closed the gap to Richards, so I thought initially that Richards was just going to try and skip away with this race. We now have a battle for the lead of the race with Anthony Cezanne closing in onto the back of Richards. Go through the staircase now. Up to 4th. Stays in 4th. Over the curb. Rattling the car over these curbs. Doesn't get quite a good a run. As good a run as he would like out of that out of the staircase. And now to turn 8. Little lift for both Richards and Cezanne to see the telltale flame belching out of the back of Richards' car. Oh, we have a car turned around. That is Stephen Marsden, and he is actually going to wait for Jack Ferguson to go by. Good sportsmanship there from Stephen Marsden. Probably had enough time to do a bit of a flick spin, but then again, I don't know how well these cars flick spin. Here we go, we got a change for the lead coming up. Matty Richards, he loses the lead, gets better drive out of the final corner though. We see Kurt Moss in the background, he's just sort of holding station. Just waiting to see these guys battle lead out with each other as Richards finds the grass on the braking zone to the chicane. I don't know how he managed to hold on to that, but he did a damn good job. He loses the lead though as Cezanne just skips on through. Now right on board with Matt Richards through the staircase. Ladders over the curve. We see Taylor Simmons has finally managed to make his way past Dre as well for 10th. So Simmons' fight back has been a bit slow. Oh, we see Steve Duro up to 8th. So definitely progress from those guys. Jack Ferguson has had a spin, and that is at the chicane. I'd say he's just found the grass just like Matt Richards did. Oh, here we go. So now Richards closes right onto the back of Susanna. So Matty Richards ended 2021 with a great win at Ottawa in the V8 Supercar Series. And he's hoping to start it off strong with a win in the Minis. Both tipping in through the hairpin. 1:31.067 for Richards, who plays a 1:30.2. So Richards is starting to just lose a little bit of time. Kurt Moss, fastest of these two, out of these three. Only one of the 1:29s on what are we on? Lap number 5. So now they're starting to sort of get pretty close to each other through the chicane, through the staircase. Sorry, as Damon McIntosh has binned it going into the staircase, so we'll definitely have to have a look at that a little bit later in the broadcast when we finish up. McIntosh finds the fence again, so he's just going to try and settle it down a little bit, just get back into that rhythm. He's got Cooley just behind him. A little bit off him, 2.3 seconds, but that gap can come down very, very quickly, especially if you're trying to just push a little bit too hard. Oh, here we go, so the top three are now starting to close up together. Matty Richards is actually taking the lead of this race. And Kurt Moss is well and truly involved in this battle now. So tip it into the chicane. Steve Duro actually fastest lap of the race at 1:29.3. So the binomial eagle, he is starting to soar. Unfortunately down there in 8th position. He is really starting to close the gap on Cooley and Damon McIntosh. What could have been for him? Just got turned around at the start of the race and then involved in a massive shunt right here on lap 1. You can see the telltale tyre marks just on the other side of the curb. So I do have a sneaking suspicion that there will be a reverse grid race with this one. Somebody in chat can correct me if I'm wrong. Starting to get to a rhythm now. So he's just a 10th off his off the fast lap of the race now. And check in with the lead trio again. So tip it through the chicane. Oh, look at them clattering over the curbs. Cars do not make very nice shapes over those curbs. As Susanna ranges up onto the back under brakes. Kurt Moss, he's doing a spectacular job as well. He's really closed up onto the back of these guys. Now he is just holding station, just waiting to see what these two are going to do. Susanna just runs it in a little bit deep, manages to recover it. minutes distance, not mistaken. And Moss is all over the back of Susanna. He is now probing for a way through. The pressure is on Anthony Susanna. Look at the back of Susanna. This is what he's seeing out of his rear vision mirror. This purple Mini. All over the back of him. Well, we have a bit of a battle going on here. Steve Duro and Pooley. We're right on board with Pooley 68. He's trying to hold off the Eagle himself. So Norwich has binned it somewhere. He's binned it just going into the staircase, so that's unfortunate for Norwich. He was doing well, but he manages to retain that top 10 position for now. Marsden is coming up. Steve Duro now up the inside going to turn 8. This is Brave, who's going to back out. And it's going to be Duro, but Pooley finds the fence, trying to stay ahead of Binomial Eagle. Into the hairpin, and well, somehow Pooley has managed to make that work. And in fact, they're still side by side. So Steve Duro, now he finally gets the move done, does he? No, he gets it sideways, holds it together. Are they done yet? They are done. Steve Duro up to 7th place. Oh, great racing, great exchange between those two. Definitely have to keep that in mind. Lap 8. So we'll have to have a look at that battle in glorious detail at the end of all the racing action. But, Duro has been. Meanwhile, back out in front, Richards is starting to gap Susanna and Moss again. I think maybe... Oh no, got that wrong. I was looking at the lap car of Jack Ferguson in the pink Mini. So the hairpin they go. Susanna now, he is really closed up again. Lap car of Jack Ferguson just sidesteps the 2 leaders. Still has to get out of the way of Moss, which he does. Damon McIntosh has binned it at turn 8. And that car is looking like as though it's crabbing a little bit. Could be wrong. We'll definitely have to try and find out what happened to him at the end of all the racing action when we go through the highlights. And Norwich loses 10th to Stephen Marsden. So Marsden now. Marsden into the top 10. Checking with this battle again. This is for the lead. It has been non-stop since the start of the race. Richards finds the fence. That is going to give Susanna a bit of hope. He gets a good run, but they're coming up to turn 8. And, well, everyone's pretty sensible. They're not going to try too wide, unless, of course, it's Duro and Pooley. Oh, they both find the fence. They both hold it. So Moss now, he is just sitting back watching these two guys bash up their cars. It's now side by side. Susanna goes to the right-hand side of Richards. Richards finds the fence and bins it horribly in front of Moss. Oh, that is horrible. And they're in a really, really awkward position there. I hope all these guys are aware of what's going on, as now they both get it going again. So that was a huge bin for Matt Richards and Kurt Moss. Moss nowhere to go. I think Richards, with the driver view being on the right-hand side of the car, probably just misjudged where the fence was, and I think he has got huge amounts of damage. So he just has Kurt Moss pull in front of him. You see Jackie is now into the battle for a podium, and don't discount this guy here, Steve Duro. He crashes over the curbs, absolutely yeets himself over the curbs on lap 11. Duro is on a mission. tell you right now. I think Matt Richards may have just been handing a position back to Moss. Maybe felt bad that he that Moss got involved in his accident. But, this has really given Anthony Susanna a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card. He's way out in front, 13-second gap between himself and Fergo. Not seeing any other battles except for maybe between Simmons and McIntosh, down in 8th and 9th. As Juro backs it into the hairpin and puts a bit of a slide job on Eaton. Sets off hunting Matt Richards and Kurt Moss. These two guys are now nose to tail with each other. Just see the headlights there of Juro. Gets a slightly better run, but he finds the fence out of turn 3. He had a better run out of the chicane. Coming up behind Jack Ferguson again, and well, Fergo actually up the road. So battle for second is not over. With just under 6 minutes left to go on this race. We see these guys crashing over the exit curb on the way down the back straight. In fact, these two are catching Fergo. So it might be in Matty Richards' best interest just to hang back. Instead, he finds the fence, and not once but twice. That has got to be some massive damage. As we see Juro back it in. He puts it up the inside of Jack Ferguson, the lap car. He now gets himself a little bit closer. And now fast lap the race for Anthony Susanna. So Juro just getting onto the back of Matty Richards now. 1.3 seconds behind. These cars look pretty difficult to actually rotate. Now I'm looking at I have a feeling that Juro is deliberately backing these cars in. He's absolutely driving this thing like a go-kart. Hey, it's working for him. Been a great recovery drive for Steve Juro. We'll have a look at the progress. So Juro only 2 places down from where he started. Fergo, a great start for him his night tonight, up by 5 places. He's got to be happy with that. So that is the mover and shaker of race number 1. Taylor Simmons drops 4 places at the moment. Doesn't seem to be making much inroads on Cooley. As we see Juro closing in on the back of Matty Richards through the chicane. Loses all the space on the exit of turn number 3. Now Matt Richards, he's gone from attacking Moss to having to defend from Steve Juro. is actually second, third, fourth, and fifth on screen right now. Fergo, he's lost a fair bit of time. Just, it looks like he's suffering from that understeer issue that seems to be plaguing these cars at the moment. Look at the back of Fergo's car at Kurt Moss. Moss ranging up the back of Fergo's Mini, but Fergo goes defensive immediately, hugs that curb nicely and actually checks up Moss on the apex. So this is absolute textbook defensive driving from Fergo. Matty Richards as well, he has got a very, very annoyed Eagle right behind him, and he's hunting for a way through. Tip it into Wakefield Street. Mossy, he just touches Fergo. And I think he's going to readdress that. Indeed he does. But what that has done is it has elevated Matty Richards and Duro onto the podium. So, he slides it again. So Moss be a bit frustrated with that. I think he went for a bit of a late lunge and just misjudged where the corner of his car was. Easy thing to do in sim racing. Now for Steve Duro. Oh, Matty Richards has binned it big time at turn 8. Turn 8 strikes again. And now Steve Duro up to second. No, he drops down to third again. And now Kurt Moss dives up the inside into the hairpin. Oh, jeez. Oh, you can't look away for a second, can you? No, Matty Richards, oh my goodness me. He has binned it big time at turn 8. Oh my word. He's going to be kicking himself after that fight back. There's now Duro up the inside of Moss. Very late lunge. They're going to be side by side down the front straight. But he's going to have to back out of it. Let Moss have it as they enter into the chicane. No, Duro shows him the nose again. This is going to be helping Fergo as we enter the last lap of the race. I'm 90% sure it is the last lap of this race. Unless it's +1. They tip it into the staircase one more time. Moss finds the fence, and that allows Duro through. So the pressure got to Moss. Matt Double, this is great racing. Oh, you can say that again, mate. Say that again. So we are now on the final lap. Anthony Cesano way ahead. He's been able to keep a clean nose. We'll check in on Cesano as we get a little bit closer to the end of this lap. I don't want to miss a thing with this battle for second. But we're going to have to swap over to Anthony Cesano. This has been a massive, massive win for Cesano. First win of 2022. It is Anthony Cesano. Now we're going to see if this battle has been resolved yet. Fergo, he is just holding off Steve Duro. Duro has closed up onto the back of him. Less than 3/10 between himself and Duro. Is Duro going to go for the dive bomb? No, he can't. Oh, but Fergo runs wide. That allows Duro through. So Duro on the final corner. He's pulled a Scotty McLaughlin. Oh, he's done it. Steve Duro, second place after being spun out on lap number 1. Oh, he has got to be thrilled with that. Oh, we have someone falling through. That is James Eaton, I think. Oh, what a podium. So Steve Duro, he plucked it in first, gave it some jandle. Oh, well done. He's a Queenslander though, so... Oh, there you go, the front-wheel drive cars. Who knew? I probably should have known that. But, oh, who doesn't love a reverse wheeling, burnout, sorry. Oh, he's up against the fence too. Oh no, he's stopped. Okay, bye Steve. And well, let's head back to the pits and give you a summary of what on earth just happened in that race. So Anthony Cesano, the winner of race number 1 tonight. Great run for him. Kept it clean. And, well, he has reaped the rewards. Steve Duro manages to fight back to second after getting involved in some shenanigans on lap number 1 with Taylor Simmons. Fergo in third. He just ran it in just slightly too deep into the final corner on the final lap, and that just handed the position to Steve Duro. You cannot make those sorts of mistakes when you have Steve Duro behind you. Kurt Moss had a very, very, very difficult race, but he should be happy with fourth, I reckon. Pooley 68 in fifth. He salvages a top 5, so well done to Pooley. Great to see him back out in action on the server. Eaton in 6th. Taylor Simmons manages to fight back to 7th. Marsden 8th. McIntosh is going to be ruining that race down in 9th place. Matty Richards, he's going to be ruining that race down in 10th place after binning it in spectacular fashion at turn 8. Over the page we have got Ryan Norridge, Dre and Jack Ferguson. Unfortunately, didn't really see a lot of those guys. Hopefully in race number 2 they will feature a little bit more prominently, as we're actually about to start getting ready for race number 2. But I'm actually going to go and grab myself a glass of water because that was an intense race, and I don't think my voice can hold up another race. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and we are just in time for the start of race number 2. Pardon me. So I have no idea how to make heads or tails of this grid. Must be a reverse. Yep, reverse top 10. So on the front row we have Matty Richards and Damon McIntosh. Then we have Stephen Marsden and Taylor Simmons. James Eaton and Pooley out of 5 and 6. Row number 4 we have Kurt Moss and Fergo. Then we have Steve Duro and Anthony Susanna rounding out the top 10. We've just lost Matty Richards. Ryan Norwich, Dre and Jack Ferguson round out the field. Let's get these lights on. We have 6 lights on, 6 lights out. We are away and racing. There's a bit delay. As we get a good start for Damon McIntosh. He goes unheaded as we don't know what happened to Matty Richards. Going through the chicane, we're going 2, 3 wide. They all managed to make it through almost. I think we have made it through, in fact. So that is great to see. But Damon McIntosh has got a clean start. He just runs in a little bit deep, and now Taylor Simmons is right onto the back of him as they make their way through the staircase for the first time in this second race. We have carnage behind, as we have, I don't know who that is. Oh, we have cars everywhere in the background. So we made it through the chicane, but, well, we didn't quite make it through the staircases. Eaton has gone straight ahead on the exit of the staircase, and he now rejoins the track. But now Taylor Simmons has actually managed to get out in front of Damon McIntosh. Marsden in third, and Steve Duro actually getting through on on the exit of turn 8 on Ryan Norwich. And in the background we have Anthony Cesana trying to move on Norwich. He's got Fergo right behind him. Oh, Jack Ferguson running very wide. That'll be Kurt Moss. Taylor Simmons has binned it somewhere. He has actually, he has binned it proper into the tyre barrier out of turn 11, I think that is. So that is not ideal. I think he has decided to call it quits. As now Damon McIntosh and Stephen Marsden trade places. So Marsden now takes the lead of this race ahead of Damon McIntosh. Steve Duro in third, some distance behind as well. But he is, keep an eye on Binomial League in third. He is very fast. We saw what he was capable of in race number 1, and he can do better now that he is a little bit closer to the front. Keep an eye on this battle in the background here. So we have Norwich still holding off the advances of Cesana, doing very well as well, if I don't mind saying so. So they make their way up towards turn number 8. Will Cesana have anything for Norwich? So they tip into turn 8. Oh, Norwich just keeps it out of the fence, but he had to back out of it, and that gives Cesana an easy run into turn number 9, although Norwich tries to outbrake him. Had the rears chirping on the entry. Fergo and Norwich, they just door handle. We'll see if he can hold off Fergo now. Dives up the inside. Norwich does give him space. Fergo gives space on the exit as well. But it does look as though Norwich hangs on to 5th place for now. Oh, Pooley has had a bit of a half spin, I think. He manages to keep it going in the right direction at the end of it. Let's check back in with this battle as Cesana now he closes in on the back of Duro. Jack Ferguson has had a bin moment, and that was at the staircase, so Ferguson having a bit of a struggle there. Oh, here we go, Fergo now, he's had a good run out of the staircase towards turn number 8. Who's going to blink first? Is there door handle, Fergo finds the fence, and he bins it spectacularly. Oh, he does a full 360 and keeps going. So Fergo, and he's actually going to lose space to Matt Richards now, so shame there for Fergo. Tried to run around the outside of turn 8. That is well, real life, and simulator says no. Oh, here we go. Now we have a battle for 2nd place. We have Steve Duro and Damon McIntosh now nose to tail with Anthony Cesana holding station, just observing this battle from a distance. It's now Duro up the inside. McIntosh gives him space on the entry, and he manages to hang on to 2nd for now. Steve Duro manages to set the fast lap of the race, by the way. As McIntosh chirping it on the rear brakes, entering turn 4. Now into the staircase. I'll tell you right now. McIntosh has made a meal of the exit, and he's actually going to lose 2 places. So Duro and Cesana both get a fairly easy pass there, and they're now onto the podium. Now Duro drives it through turn 8. And he now has Cesana all over the back of him. Speaking of people all over the back of him, Norwich runs it wide, and that hands an easy position to Matt Richards. So Matt Richards now up to 5th place after he binned it. I think it was, just trying to think where he binned it on lap 1. The way he binned it early in the race, and now he's No, that's right. Matt Richards for some reason didn't hit drive. Started from pit lane. Now, is Susanna going to start trying to work with Steve Duro at this point? Because they both have the pace. I think they both have the pace over Steve Marsden. If you look at Steve Marsden, 29.9 versus Steve Duro's 30.9, but he was involved in a battle. But his fastest lap is 28.8, so we know what Duro was capable of in these cars. And I mean, he did actually fight back from a first lap carnage in race 1 to finish in 2nd place. So definitely keep an eye on the progress of Steve Duro. Through turn 8, Duro, that must have been a cigarette paper between himself and the wall there. Don't know how he does it. He's so consistent. And that is what helps you win races. He's actually just starting to show a clean set of heels to Anthony Susanna just behind. Make the way up to the hairpin to tick off another lap. Duro's actually made some pretty good progress. We've still got 17 minutes left in this race. Marsden now at 20. Well, Steve Duro immediately 28.7. New fastest lap of the race, so Duro means business. And with 17 minutes left on the clock, he has got time to close that 4-second deficit between himself and Marsden. Keeping on the intervals as well. Unfortunately, this is the closest battle we've got at the moment. Susanna looks to be a little bit stronger through this section of the circuit in comparison to Duro. See him able to get the car rotated nicely. As we see, Norwich has binned it coming into Wakefield Street. And, Eaton has done well to avoid contact there. Of course, coming around that corner, blind corner, and you have a car lengthways across the track. Even though they're minis, it's still a pretty big target to hit. Starting to group here. We have Kurt Moss in 8th place in the purple mini. It's just behind Bully here in the blue mini. Jump on board with Kurt Moss now as he tries to chase down Bully. Oh, we have a battle brewing here. So Susanna has managed to almost get the move done on Duro going down the front straight. In fact, Anthony Susanna setting a blistering lap on 128.8, but I think that might have been a shortcut somewhere on track limits. You know, you can see track limits in Adelaide, but he's managed to do it. That lap was not counted. But he is definitely on the move. Marsden will be looking in the rear vision mirror and loving this. It's a battle between Duro. Oh, we have a good battle here. Damon McIntosh, Matty Richards. So this has gone under the radar for me. I didn't see Matt Richards. McIntosh up the inside. I think the switchback was on. He may have just carried a little bit too much pace going into the exit of the staircase. Don't know what that corner was called. Turn 7. That's what it's called actually. Turn 7. I don't think there is a fancy name for it. So they enter the hairpin again. This battle is definitely not resolved. Speaking of battles, this battle is not resolved. And they are actually closing in onto the back of Virgo in the orange mini. Just up ahead. To have a sneak look into the chicane. battle continues between Richards and McIntosh. Oh, McIntosh just carries a little bit too much pace and finds the fence. It's out of turn 6. And I think Richards has finally got the job done on McIntosh. So we've got a good battle here. This is, I think, in the middle of the staircase as well. So Ryan Norwich and James Eaton. Not mistaken, yep. A little bit of a slide there for Norwich that might leave him vulnerable to Eaton. Oh, we got battles everywhere. The battle between Richards and McIntosh is still not over. As McIntosh, oh, I don't think he was aware that Richards was still beside him. Pooley has binned it out of turn 8. Oh, jeez. Turn 8 has been claiming some people tonight. Actually, turn 8, claiming souls since forever. This battle's still going on between Eaton and Norwich as Eaton absolutely backs it in through the double left. And now Norwich switches back, and this allows Pooley a chance around the outside. He goes for a dive bomb into the hairpin. Can't quite get it done. And he'll have to self-take for now. This battle's still going on. So Zana now, great run out of turn 8. Gets on the brakes hard. Actually lets him have it, so maybe Juro thinking to himself, okay Anthony, you can have a go now, see if you can close the gap to Marsden. They have brought the gap down, but that battle has not helped them at all. So we've gone past half race distance and just have a little over 10 minutes to go. Eight for Cezana now. Oh, McIntosh has binned it. He has found the escape road. So, pretty easy for those. Now Pooley gets in front of this mad battle train. So Norwich fires straight back at him, and Pooley gives him a little bit of a punterino. Oh, big contact back there for Ryan Norwich. Trying to gather it up, did the old front wheel drive when you're sideways, opposite lock, full throttle, and it just overcorrected him into the side of, I think that might have been Simmons. It was indeed, so Taylor Simmons has been in the wars tonight, well, at least this race. Oh, here we go. So Fergo, I don't know what's happened to Fergo. He's lost a lot of time to Matt Richards. Cezana is closing the gap between himself and Marsden as well. The gap is down to 2.5 seconds. So they rotated around the hairpin one more time. Richards looking for any sort of opening to make the move stick. Setting it up for a dive bomb there, but Fergo goes in real deep. And they're side by side down the main straight. Richards will have to blink first. He's on the outside through the chicane. And the motocross is over the curb. Standard. Waiting for any mistake from these guys to just create an opening for himself. Oh, Richards sideways over the curb. He manages to only just hold it together. I think he may have used the ball as a bit of assistance. Make the run into turn number 8. Tips it in. Oh! Only just kept it out of the side of Fergo there. Fergo running it a little bit deep into turn 9. And now Moss is on the back of these guys. So we now have a three-way battle. In fact, we have a three-way battle for the lead. Marsden, I don't know what happened. He's done a 131.6. So he's made a mistake somewhere, and that has brought Susanna and Juro right onto the back of him with 8 minutes to go. Marsden will be kicking himself for that mistake. I don't know what happened. He must have thought he's got a pretty easy drive. He just needs to keep it pointing in the right direction and hang on for a couple of minutes. But instead, he's going to have 7 minutes, 40 seconds of absolute hell with Susanna and Juro. It's Juro now trying to go up the inside of turn 8. This is ambitious, and I think that was very smart from Juro. Now, Marsden runs a bit deep. He just makes a little bit of contact with Susanna at the hairpin. It's now our leading trio. This is exactly how we wanted to start 2022, let's be honest. Some good, tight racing between 3 drivers who just don't want to give up. Fan out going down the main straight. Marsden clatters over the curbs at the chicane. He finds the exit curb on the entry to turn number 4. I don't know why they ever put an exit curb on the entry to turn number 4. It's one of those things that I've always found really odd. Now the battle is starting to intensify between Juro and Susanna. This is going to help Marsden actually. But for Juro, he's got to go at some point if he wants to win this race. Oh, here we go. We've also got a change for the 4th. We have big changes. Virgo and Moss coming together a little bit in turn number 3. Go back to this battle for the lead. That sort of settled down. I was expecting that to be a little bit more chaotic. I'm going to swap back to it, but no, they're actually playing quite nicely with each other. Now Moss and Fergo actually trading positions. Fergo tucks into the slipstream of Moss going to turn 8. He gives him a little touch going to turn 8 actually. Oh no! Richards has found the fence. Oh, turn 8 has claimed another one. Oh my word. That is another bin for Matt Richards. Unbelievable for Matt Richards. He just got up to 4th. And then he has binned it hard into turn 8. Full 360 and kept going though. Oh, back at the front. Susanna still hanging on to 2nd place from Steve Juro. Marsden, well, he's looking back at this in the mirror and going, yes boys, keep fighting. Keep fighting, I'm getting away. Oh, Juro into the fence there. Thank God for low damage rates. Oh, Marsden just grabs that curve a little bit too aggressively this time. That's costing momentum. Marsden and Susanna, they've both binned it, and that has allowed Steve Juro into the lead. Oh, unbelievable bad luck for Marsden. He just understeered onto the curb. I think the curb has dragged him off the track and into that tyre barrier. And poor Susanna, he had nowhere to go. He was already on throttle grabbing gears, and, well, best he could go was into that pink Mini. But, well, 3 minutes to go, and now Steve Duro has finally grabbed the lead tonight. He's been threatening to do it all night, and, well, now he has. Tell you what, Marsden's not ready to let go of second. Marsden and Cezanne now the closest battle on track. I don't know how I missed that. Eaton now drops behind Norwich one more time. Go for a different camera angle. So we right on the left-hand side of Eaton as he dive bombs, a little bit of contact. But Norwich is still able to get the drive out of the hairpin. So, oh, and that was a little bump, and Norwich is around. He's found the escape road. Eaton is readdressing that immediately, though. So good sportsmanship there from Eaton. Does let the position go to, well, actually not yet. There we go, so the readdress is done. This battle is not over yet. We still have, actually we've got 50 seconds to go, so this will be the final lap. Steve Duro stayed out of trouble for this one this time. I mean, Cezanne is closing in at a rate of knots. Coming out the staircase for the final time. Cezanne has closed the gap down. He's got it down to 1.7 seconds. So it's not over yet. One mistake from Duro and Cezanne will be all over it for the last half of this lap. As Duro now rotates around the hairpin for the last time tonight. This has been an amazing race tonight. I hope you guys at home have been thoroughly entertained by this. Duro now gets the Mini out of the final corner. And this is going to be a great victory for Steve Duro as he crossed the line. The winner of race number 2 ahead of Anthony Cezanne. And then Steve Marsden in third. Then we have a massive gap between Marsden and Moss. As we have got reverse burnouts. I think he deserves this one. That was a brilliant fight through for Steve Duro. Continues keeping on. Virgo comes home in the top 5. Matty Richards just misses out as he yeets himself across the start-finish line. Damon McIntosh will be disappointed with 7th, I think. He was up at the front at one point. Pooley in 8th. Norwich and Eton. This battle is not over yet, actually. Eton now, he's setting himself up. He's got to make the dive bomb into the bottom corner. See if Norwich is awake to it. And Eton, he thinks about ascent, but he's not quite close enough. Maybe not as confident on the brakes as what Norwich is. And, well, Norwich will hang on to 9th ahead of Justin Eaton. Well, have a look at the lunacy that's going on here as we go through the final results here in race number 2. So Steve Juro is the winner of race number 2 ahead of Anthony Cesaro. Great fight back from those two guys after starting 9th and 10th respectively. Steve Marsden in 8th. Actually, that is those engines are actually quite painful to listen to. So Stephen Marsden in 3rd ahead of Kurt Moss. I have a feeling that Kurt Moss was actually involved in the lap 1 shenanigans. As in fact, I'm just going to quickly transfer over to this screen. Fergo in 5th, Matty Richards in 6th, Damon McIntosh in 7th, Pooley 8th, Ryan Norwich in 9th, and Eaton in 10th. Then over the page we have Jack Ferguson and Taylor Simmons. Taylor Simmons absolutely buried himself in the tyre barrier. And then we have Dre, who was a did not start. So a bit of a shame that we lost Dre there. But anyway, we're going to quickly jump out of the server and then we're going to have a look at some pretty crucial parts of this race, assuming that we have replays. I hope we have replays. We have replays. Okay, let's go through race number 1 first. So there was some shenanigans. There was a lot of shenanigans, actually. So here we go. We are just about ready to get this replay happening. It's okay, Taylor. It's okay. There will be other races. Let's see. Stereo carousel. So the first thing I want to have a look at is this incident here on lap number 1, race 1. So, battle with Taylor Simmons here. Now, this is a bit of a crucial moment for both of these guys. So actually, I'm going to try and find him. Where is he? There he is. So, see what's happened here. I think maybe he has just lost sight. Following with the cars. Yeah, the internal camera, the internal audio is really loud. It is really loud. Okay. So, I think maybe Juro was trying to get out of it and give himself a bit more rotation speed as we have all this carnage here. And I don't think Taylor was quite expecting it. But then of course we have this just absolute shenanigans here. Blind exit for these guys. I don't know who that was, but everyone just got collected by all that. So that is the first thing that I really wanted to have a look at. We'll have a look at Matt Richards. This is big moment for Matty Richards as well. I think we're past it. Okay, so... Yeah, God, these cars are loud. They are so loud. So anyway, we're heading into turn number 8. I think this is the correct lap. I have no idea. Seems about right. Oh, he's actually found the fence on the inside. And that's what absolutely yeeted himself into the left-hand wall. So, God, there have been some victims at turn 8 tonight. So, we'll quickly jump on board here. So I reckon he's just turned in slightly too early. Yep. And around he goes. Duro nowhere to go. And, well, absolute chaos ensues yet again. Okay. That was one of the only crucial moments I really saw in race number 1. We had a lot of chaos as well, but let's have a look at race number 2, because there were some crazy moments in that one, particularly lap 1. I want to get to the bottom of what exactly happened at Wakefield Street, because Wakefield Avenue, I think it is. I've been calling it street all night, but I think it's Avenue. Might just quickly Google that. Wakefield Street. I was right. Jolly good. Right. So let's get into the... So I have a feeling that Moss was someone who really got caught up in all the shenanigans here. Oh yeah, just see. And it all kicks off from here, and yep, everyone's just basically dead. So we'll try and find out. It was a light blue Mini. I don't think it was Steve Duro because the headlights aren't on. So in the middle of the staircase, I mean, it's pretty easy to do here. You're not expecting the guy ahead to maybe slow down as much, maybe not turn in as early, and then everyone else has really got nowhere to go, and we got cars getting rotated. Oh, absolute craziness there. That really hurt the race of quite a few key drivers. Then, of course, we had... I want to say that was possibly Pooley? Nope. It was Eaton, that's right, who went straight ahead at the exit of the staircase. So anyway, I didn't have my piece of paper tonight, so I don't really have any other moments that I want to go through. So anyway, that is... I think that will do us for tonight. So it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. If you've loved what you've seen so far, hit the follow button, or maybe the subscribe button if you want to see more content from us. Make sure you check us out on YouTube as well, because we pretty well put all of our sim racing stuff up on there. Plus, there's a few other bits and pieces on there as well. So Go Race Promotions, we're checking out for tonight. Thank you very much. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and jump onto the Twitch streams as well. Be a part of the fun and games with us. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Not sure when we're going to be streaming next. I have a feeling it's going to be Friday, this coming Friday, perhaps. I'll have to be in touch with GT Club about that. But yeah, if it's on Friday, we'll be streaming GT Club's GT3 Masters. Really looking forward to that one because there's some pretty cool cars out there. But anyway, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Adios.